together. Like, that's the point of a meme for us. A meme is a meme. And when it comes to YouTube, when you want to make like a funny joke about, like, I don't know, death or something, I don't know, it just like gets cut off. And why can't I make the jokes that I want to make for people to laugh at, but then I get in trouble for it? Like, that just increasingly unmotivates me, especially because the things that I make I can't get away with, but other people can. Like, for instance, I'm gonna go back to like 2015 or like something like that. It wasn't even 2015, it was more like a couple years back. You know, when the Jake Paul thing happened, like Jake Paul, Logan Paul thing happened, everyone like went off on them, and like they got away with it for a little bit, and then like no one cared anymore. But if someone else, like for instance PewDiePie and his scandal and how that happened, like he couldn't even get away with it for a really long time until like a couple years passed, and then people just started not caring anymore. People just started unsubscribing, and like they didn't care. Like, why does a person with a big audience that people actually like and support and everything like that, say for instance the Paul brothers and everything like that, they can get away with things for a very long time, then get in trouble for a very short time, then get away with it again, like them. And then someone who has a big audience of like almost billions of like millions of people just cannot get away with it for the rest of their time. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. And don't even get me started on the YouTube drama when it came to James and Tati, and like how it just went so bad, and all the KSI stuff, and it's not worth being a YouTuber. Like, it's just not worth it in my eyes. That's why I started doing this, so I could still say my opinions, not say anything bad. I still have restrictions, obviously, because I'm a human being who knows what to say and not to say. Just, that's kind of why I want to show myself in this kind of way, because it's just easier for me. Oh shoot, my laptop started dying and I had to change positions due to it, and I'm kind of hoping that it fixed the audio a bit, because now I'm at a corner. So yeah, back to what I was kind of saying. I don't get why YouTube is the way that it is, and I just don't like it. And bottom line, I just don't want to be in that community due to the fact that it's just a clusterfuck of so many rules and people not getting away with things, and people getting in trouble for little things, basically. Speaking of people getting away with stuff, let's talk about school. I'm currently 17, which means I'm going to be a senior this year in August. I think so. Yeah, in August. So basically, am I excited to be a senior? Kind of. I can't wait to get out of the hellhole that is high school. It's not really a hellhole because my school is very luckily a bully-free zone, but there's fights here and there. It's an art school. What do you expect? We're all dramatic kids who don't know how to control their feelings. We're emotional. But basically, my school runs a very different way, and the grading system is fucked. And it's really bad because of the fact that a lot of people aren't passing because of it. A lot of people aren't having the grades that they should have and everything like that, and blah, blah, blah. It's just school. So it's very complicated and stuff, but I'm not really excited to be a senior due to the fact that there's huge projects that we have to do. I'm graduating. I have to think about colleges I want to do, what I'm going to study, what college I'm going to study at. It's just a huge thing. And I know my school's going to help me out through the entire thing, but it's just kind of difficult to process that I'm about to be adult, air quotations. I'm going to be adulting, basically. And I don't mind adulting due to the fact that I've been doing it for a really long time. I've always been the most mature sibling out of everyone. Everyone's agreed with it. My entire family agrees with it. We all just said, like, sat down and said, Sam is the most mature kid in this entire, like, family. Like, we just all know it. So yeah, I've kind of gotten a grasp at adulting, and I act way older than I should, but it kind of puts me in good situations because now people see me as more responsible and more capable of doing things and everything like that. So it just makes me a bit, like, I guess the reason why I grew up very mature was because I only grew up with older people, with older kids. For instance, since me and my sister and my cousins, who are 3 to 2 years older than me, I've hung out with them ever since birth. So I've always acted and been like them. They're basically role models to me. I've always looked up to them, and I've always done what they've done, not all of the things that they've done, obviously. I've learned from their mistakes, and it just made me seem more mature and made me have an imprint on life and how it's supposed to be. So yeah, I guess that was a good transition to talk about people now. So as I've kind of said before, I'm an anxious, depressed little being with social anxiety, and I basically, sometimes I'm an introverted and extroverted person at the same time. I love hanging out with my friends. I don't like hanging out with strangers and new people. That's kind of my thing. Do I get energetic whenever I'm near my friends? Hell yeah, because they give me energy that I need. They're basically my cup of coffee in the morning for school, and they just lift me up with encouragement and energy for the day. That's kind of how it's always been and always will be, because I think most of us are going to be going to the same college, aka community college, because we don't have money. So yeah. So when it comes to people, I don't like snot-nosed people who think they can get away with everything, and I don't like people who think they're above everyone else. Like, for example, there was this one freshman in my integrated math 3 class, and he acted like he was the smartest kid in the world because, oh, I'm a freshman and I'm in integrated math 3 and could take pre-calculus in my sophomore year. Just, ooh, I'm so cool and smart. Just, no, you're not. You got into this class because you know how to do math. A lot of people can do math. If you can't do math, I sympathize with you. It's just, yeah. I don't like snot-nosed people, as you can tell. I don't like people, a lot of people in general. Like, for instance, popular kids. Like, popular kids go jump into a trampoline, I guess. It's just, I don't like popular kids because then they act like they rule this school. I don't really have popular kids. We do have dance majors who act like popular kids, so we call them popular kids anyway, so yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my idea of people. But I kind of have like psychopathic tendencies when it comes to like people, because I kind of know how people work. So basically, like, for instance, I know how people work due to the fact that, like, I've seen movies, I've analyzed other people, and it's just, I know how people are kind of like gonna play out. But then again, that kind of backfires on me due to the fact that I'm an overthinker with everything. So if I do something wrong or do something, like, not particularly wrong, but I do an oopsie and the person doesn't like that and they're mad at me, I think they hate me forever. It's just a thing that I've always done. I need to work on it. I've been working on it a lot. Thank you to my therapists for that. But yeah, my therapist basically was just like, well, not everyone hates you. Some people might hate you, but like they've already known you and they're like probably snot-nosed brats and everything like that. I'm just like, yeah. And she kept going with like, oh, people don't know you, so they'll kind of get like a first impression, but you can fix that first impression with how you are and everything like that. I'm just like, yeah, I can do this and stuff like that. So that kind of helps me out with my overthinking anxiety and social anxiety. So that's kind of what I'm taking from this right now. But it's just kind of, I think a superpower that I would have, because it would make me feel better about my anxiety, is kind of not mind control, mind reading. I would have mind reading as a kind of as a superpower, due to the fact that it'd probably make me feel better about a lot of things a lot of the time. So I kind of appreciate that. And yeah, I don't really have a transition for this next segment that we have. So we're getting out of the opinion corner now about everything and stuff like that. And I'm going to talk about how my future might be one day. I like talking about the future because then, like I said before, I'm a very mature being and like to think ahead of things. Because I'm 17, I think I already know what I think I already know what I'm going to do when I'm 20. I'm going to be in college studying what I want to study. And speaking of that, I've been talking about art and everything like that, and I actually don't want to go into art. Like, I do want to go into art when it comes to like, oh, I'll get some pocket money from Patreon and stuff like that and stuff. Like, I want to do that. I would love to sell my art and everything and probably have it in a couple of galleries, but I don't plan on being famous with it. I don't want to be famous with it. I actually want to become the next Tony Stark and Ant-Man. I forgot what his name is. What was his name? Dang it, I can't remember his name, but basically I want to be the next Ant-Man and Iron Man and stuff like that. I want to make things for people to help them in their life, basically. So I'm going to be going into electrical and mechanical engineering. So that'll be fun. It's very hands-on, so I think it'd just be helpful for me because I hate sitting on a desk 24/7. So yeah. That's kind of what I want to study. But where I want to study it is kind of difficult because I know I'm going to get my general ed done at MELDSAC and then do mechanical engineering at Cal Poly. And then I really want to I want to try and see other colleges other than UC Riverside that I can go into electrical engineering. And yeah, so that's basically what I want to do one day and stuff like that. So we'll just see how that goes. I keep repeating that I'm 17, but it's kind of true. I'm 17 years old and I want to adult a bit more. I want to be adultish, basically. And what that means is I need to learn how to drive, get a job, like a part-time, and just work on my studies half the time. And maybe one day when I'm like 20, I'll be able to move out and live my own life, have my own apartment or like house. Or definitely not a house. Who am I kidding? Have you seen this economy these days? Apartment's the best way to go right now. But yeah, I'm currently learning how to drive. I'm currently studying for my DMV test, which I will be taking sooner or later, I'm hoping. I'm going to do it with my friend because me and my friend have been kind of wanting to learn how to drive and drive around so we can take our friends places and stuff like that. And one day we'll have a beach day like in those animes. So yeah. So I've said before, I am a transgender F to M. And do I plan on having the surgeries? Yes, I would love to have both of the surgeries. Am I going to go on testosterone? Yes, I would love to go on testosterone. Me and my friend have actually been daydreaming of what I would sound like with testosterone and what I'd look like with a beard. And it's just so much fun. And it makes me so happy and excited to actually be on testosterone and everything like that. And I'm actually really, happy about the fact that, I finally figured out who I am, and I finally, am, but like, I guess the best way to put this is like, I finally understand what I'm going to be for the next couple of years, and finally know what is going to become of me in the next couple of years. It just makes me so happy to know what I'm going to be like one day, or what I am. It just makes me happy, you know? I think that's good enough for today. If you have any other things